All right, the NRA is holding its annual meeting in Dallas right now, and this fellow, not a fan, addressing an audience of those who are against the NRA and against the proliferation of guns in this country. Will Riley is not one of them. He was at a rally earlier, stand for the second, as in the Second Amendment, the right to bear arms, and he joins us right now. I had him on my show just less than a week ago and got an enormous reaction to this young man. Will Riley, good to have you back.
Yeah, thank you for having me on again.
I remember you were saying, and I was struck by the fact that you're not a big gun owner, you're not a big gun advocate in and of itself. You just feel that this has gotten lost in the debate by other protests and student walkouts. You understand their reason, and you welcome what they are doing. They have a constitutional right to do it. But that targeting guns per se, that you didn't like. Did I get that right?
Yeah, well, you know, as far as how I'm concerned with this issue, it's not about me getting to keep my guns. I don't have any. It's about people's rights. And so I think that's how we need to focus on this. You know, people forget that the right to bear arms is just that. It's a right. It can't be taken away by repealing the Second Amendment. You can only violate a right. You can't take it away.
All right. In Florida, what they're doing after that shooting is saying you still have those rights, but you got to be 21 to get your hand on those assault weapons. What do you think of that?
Well, I think that it's a very dangerous precedent to set that, you know, you may not be able to exercise your natural right until you are above the age that we've considered for adulthood. So if you're someone who is allowed to vote, you're allowed to serve in the military, I think that you also need to be allowed to own a gun. And I don't think that there needs to be a double standard there.
You know, the media made much, Will, of the fact that there weren't nearly as many doing a Second Amendment walkouts as there were for those just doing prior walkouts that have involved targeting guns, and students upset about the proliferation of guns after this Florida shooting. In other words, the read more people side with those students than they do with you.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, that, I mean, we pride ourselves on actually being an organic and grassroots movement. I think if you look at our backers, we have the Tea Party Patriots helped us as far as tech infrastructure and sending out 6 T-shirts to each of our student organizers. But other than that, we didn't have a lot of outside help. This is student-led and student-driven, whereas if you look at the Enough walkouts, they have got a list of donors that will take you a few minutes to read. So I would say, you know, another factor that went into the smaller turnout is the fact that we have had viewpoint discrimination in schools across the country where schools that may have totally encouraged students to participate in the anti-gun walkout actively attempted to discourage this walkout.
So when you hear that there's a move afoot, and we just had a congressman on a little earlier, Eric Swalwell of California, who wants to ban all assault weapons. What do you think of that?
Well, I would say, you know, I heard his interview, and you know, he said that he doesn't think that assault weapons are covered by the Second Amendment. Well, the Second Amendment is intended for national defense, and it's intended for defense against tyranny. And it's meant that the people are well armed enough to protect themselves against a tyrannical government. Are they going to be able to do that without semi-automatic weapons, without assault rifles? Maybe not. And so I think it's clear that whatever is necessary to protect the people and to protect our liberties, that's what the Second Amendment covers.
All right. It's a free country. Both sides are free to do what they want to do. Will Riley, stand for the second, walkout organizer. Thank you. Good seeing you again.
Thank you.